Get back into politics, and it's been, as I said, 18 years since I've been involved. I had the opportunity to serve on the Kansas Board of Regents for 3 years, and I was chair of the Board of Regents during the Great Recession. So I have a particular detailed knowledge of higher education and have worked in the K through 12 arena for many years in education. And the reason I got back into politics was I don't believe I have ever been as concerned about what is going on in the state of Kansas as I am at this very moment. Let me tell you what concerns me. Up until 2010, we've had a history in the state of Kansas of either Democratic or Republican governors who I think in many ways shared a lot of commonality. They were largely centrist. You cannot run and be a liberal Democrat in Kansas and win. And most of the Republicans, like Bill Graves and Mike Hayden and all the Republicans you can think of in the past, were kind of centrist governors. And they all sort of governed with this coalition of Democrats and Republicans. And we have had a fairly balanced tax structure in the state of Kansas for many, many years. Since Alf Landon in the 1930s, and Alf Landon is whose dad? Okay, whose dad? Nancy Kassebaum's dad. I swear I'm not going to ask you. I was just kidding. We'll do a spelling bee after this, okay? He helped design our current tax structure, the one we had before 2010, which is kind of a three-legged stool, a balance of property tax, sales tax, and income tax. And the reason he instituted an income tax was because he wanted to take pressure off of property tax, because farmers and rural landowners in the state of Kansas were being overly burdened on property tax. So it sort of filled out our tax structure.
Tell us why you're here tonight, Joe.
I was here tonight to have an opportunity to answer any questions and concerns people have, and to sort of outline what makes me so concerned about the state of Kansas that I was proud to say yes to Paul Davis and run with him on the ticket. Because I haven't been in politics a very long time. I'm sort of a private person and believe in my opportunities in private business are sort of where I've sort of kept my energy over the last 18 years. But I'm back in the political process because I have not been this worried about the state of Kansas ever in my lifetime. I am worried about the lack of fiscal integrity. We are looking at a $1.3 billion deficit in our state. As a businesswoman, I worry about 3 downgrades in our bond ratings, which is an indication that there are people all over the United States of America evaluating our system and saying it is getting a negative outlook. I am worried about the fact that we don't have revenues to invest in K through 12, community colleges, higher education, transportation, water supply and conservation. If you're looking at a $1.3 billion deficit going forward, that's of grave concern. And we are not growing jobs in Kansas. As a result of Governor Brownback's failed experiment, we are losing jobs to our competition, and we're also not investing in our workforce. And frankly, that's why people move to a state, right? Is the quality of their workforce. So if you don't invest in your workforce, what are they moving for? If you don't have wonderful public education, how are they moving all the families into the state of Kansas? So we have a fabulous tradition in our state of Democratic and Republican governors who have come together and worked together to make our state proceed on a certain path. Governor Brownback in 2010 changed that with this red state experiment. It is a failure. I hope people get fully engaged in this election. If they have to do homework or they want to have follow-up calls with somebody, please do that, because this is the single most important election in the state of Kansas. If we don't change what's going on in our state, I fear Governor Brownback's failed experiment will solidify, and I fear for the future of our state. If Paul Davis is elected governor, I am certain we have the talent from Republicans and independents and Democrats to come together, fix what's going on in Kansas, and restore to our state the fabulous history we've had before.
Do you see one specific problem as being like at the top of the heap as far as that, or
because
is it just
I am in
everything?
business, my largest concern is the lack of fiscal integrity. I come from a family, the Docking family, that believes in balancing budgets and being fiscally responsible, and I am horrified by what's going on in the state of Kansas. To look at a $1.3 billion deficit when every other state is restoring money to their system because they're doing well, puts us in a terrible position compared to every other state in the union. So it's time for us to take a stand, and we need help doing that because we are being outspent, as people can see on the TV, 10-1. So we need people power.
Yeah.
We need troops on the ground. We need people to go down and volunteer to phone call, volunteer to canvass, and together I believe we can change what's going on in Kansas.
So how do you feel about what happened with the arts funding when Brownback came in and got rid of all of our arts funding?
Again, that's makes us an unusual state. We're the only state that has refused to take federal funding for the arts. What does that do? Well, the arts is the sort of beauty of our culture that begins to dry up. It is particularly burdensome for smaller communities that don't have a base to go out and raise money privately. So the arts suffer much more in rural and smaller communities with this lack of federal arts money coming in here. And what was the reason for it? Why would you turn down federal investment in the arts and culture?
That's what
What's
I
the point?
never understand. Why would you do that? They were just giving money away.
That's right. Well, it's an investment by the federal government in culture and arts, like they invest in education. Remember, our educational system is funded both from a federal level and a state level, and some privately. So it takes that kind of partnership to get it all together. And the arts community has been outraged by what's gone on, and they've been fully engaged, by the way, in helping to turn things around.
Well, and even states surrounding us, I've talked to people in other states, and they're outraged as well. They're like, how can you completely eliminate that from your state?
The only state.
Yeah.
I mean, so we have a proud tradition in Kansas, actually, of wonderful arts, especially I think we have especially extraordinary talent in our smaller communities.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, you go to Hutch, you go to Hayes, you go to Pittsburgh. There's a brand new art center being built in Pittsburgh. So we have private investors and donors willing to help in our communities, and without that sort of partnership with all forms of the federal and state government, you just dry up money. We need the money. So again, I don't know who asked for the experiment, who asked to have the funding cut off. Certainly not the people I know in the arts community.
So what do you think your chances are?
Our chances are outstanding. I mean, the fact that we have come this far and are holding tight with all this money being spent against us, you would think by now they would have beat the stuffing out of us. It's a testament
to... And they haven't.
They have not beat the stuffing out of us, and it's a testament to the endurance of people helping us, as well as people in Kansas saying, you know, I don't believe this stuff on TV. I don't think this is the truth. And I'm proud of Kansans for taking that view. So we are going to sprint to the finish line. It's going to be a tight race, and as I said, we need, if anybody's interested in helping, we need a lot of help right now. And it's not something money can buy. It's people power, and we need people on the ground to help us.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking with us. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
Enjoyed your talk.